Hey YouTube, this is PrimetimePokemon. I'm here today with the final video in my How to Play the Pokemon Trading Card Game series. Today's video is going to be how to play the Pokemon Trading Card Game. So I'm basically going to lay down the rules to how to start a game, how to play in the game, and then how to win the game. So actually, I really want to make a battle video sometime, so I'm going to try and make that sometime after this, but this is just the basic rules, everything you need to play, and once you learn these steps, you'll be able to go out and play competitively anytime, and go to any league and do whatever. So the first thing I would recommend, especially for beginners, is to buy a theme deck like this. Now, these come out whenever a new set comes out. They usually have 2 new theme decks per set. Now, they call it a theme deck because the cards, there's 60 cards in each deck, usually split up between 20 energy, 20 trainers and supporters, and 20 Pokemon. And the strategy involved in these decks are usually the same. It could be based around high damage Pokemon cards or Pokemon attacks. It could be based around Pokebodies, that type of thing. But I would recommend buying one of these. And the newer ones even come with like a promo card like this is Nidoking. It also comes with a pack in there, a booster pack, so you could get some extra stuff. Now, I would suggest buying one. Like I said, they cost $11.99 in stores, I think, and it comes with everything you need to play the game, especially if you're a beginner. It comes with a rule book. It comes with, I can show you here. It comes with a rule book. Inside it comes with a rule book. It comes with a coin, so you can flip it in case you have to do a special condition or something like that. And it comes with damage counters, a burn marker, and a poison marker. So those are all essential things, and it also comes with this playing mat you see in front of us. So just basic things to get started. Basics you need to know before you start. You need to have 60 cards in your deck, and if you buy a theme deck, it'll have 60 cards in there. What you also you need to know, you get one of these playing mats, like I said, and I can lift it up here to take a closer look. But what I would recommend is you have to know about prize cards. There's 6 prize cards, and what prize cards are is that when you knock out a defending Pokemon, you get to take a prize card, and if you take all 6 prize cards before your opponent does, you win the game. There's also a bench, as you can see here, and you can put up to 5 cards on your bench at a time. I'll talk about that more later. And then you have a spot for your deck and discard pile. Now, what are nice about these mats, especially if you don't know, if you're just beginning playing Pokemon, is that it has all the special conditions, which I also have a video explaining. Special conditions are on there. And then it also has a list of what you can do to do on your turn. So it's real nice, everything like that. I can help you out. Now, with the newer stuff especially, before I start, I can talk about the Lost Zone. Now, this is a new element that was implemented in the Heart Gold, Soul Silver series, and what the Lost Zone is, an area considered to be more advanced form of the discard pile, and unlike the cards in the discard pile, cards moved to the Lost Zone are kept face up and are considered to be outside the play area due that they are not kept on the play mat. So if the cards are moved to the Lost Zone, you cannot play them anymore. So important cards to look for are cards that implement the Lost Zone, because that basically takes those cards away from your opponent. So now I can talk about the rules and how to get started playing a Pokemon game. So let me see here. So first off, once you have your deck ready, and like I said, I would suggest a theme deck. And what you can actually do is if you can buy a theme deck and then buy some boosters at a time, and then one by one try to change out those cards to better cards if you think that's better. So when you're facing your opponent, well, this is out of the official rule book where it says shake hands. You don't necessarily have to do that, but that's a good thing to do. And you shuffle your deck. I just have a few cards here just to show the basic layout of everything. So you have 60 cards. Like I said, you draw 7 cards out. So basically you shuffle your deck, and then you put them on, I'll show you here. You put them on your deck pile, as you can see right there on the mat. You don't have to use a mat, but it helps out quite a bit. And you draw 7 cards to begin the game. So I'll just draw 7 cards. These are not in any format. They're not, modified format or anything. But it's just, so 7 cards, just to show an example. So these are basically all Pokemon so far. So 7 cards like this. So they're all basic Pokemon. I mean, they're all Pokemon cards. So you draw 7 cards, and what you do first is you check to see if you have any basic Pokemon in play. In your hand, I mean. And now you have to decide what Pokemon you want to be your active Pokemon. Now, as you can see, all these are almost basic Pokemon except for the Loudred and the Electrode. So let me see. And the Ninetales. So I'm going to actually I'll put Torchic out there. So what you do to start the game, you put this card face down out there. And now you can also, you don't have to, you can put up to 5 cards on your bench. They have to be basic Pokemon. So you put these face down as well. So I'm just going to put all of them out there just to show you an example. So I'm going to put all 4 of them out there. So once you do that, you basically, the next step would be to set aside out of your deck, so out of the deck, set aside all 6 prize cards over here, face down. Here, and I have cards all over this, just an example. But you set them down like this, so I can show you the mat again. So right now we have 6 prize cards over there. We have an active Pokemon out there, and then 4 bench Pokemon, and then that's my deck right there. So that's where we are so far. This is still all before we actually play. Now, we take this coin that you can get in blister packs or in these theme decks, and you flip it and let the other person call if you're flipping. So heads maybe? Oh, it's heads it turned out. So that means you can go first if you want. So now that you know you're going first, you flip over all active and benched Pokemon in play, you and your opponent. Just like this, and this. And since I get to go first, when it's your turn, here's the things you can do. You have your hand, so you can now, you draw a card every turn. So you draw it out of your deck. Now let's see if I can, thought it had something like that. Let's see. This is just an example here. Just to show, I thought I had that stuff, but maybe not actually, I know where it is. Okay, so we'll do this. So it's your turn, your first turn. So you have your cards in your hand, and then you draw a card from your deck. So it's over here. So you go like this. Now it looks like I drew an energy card. This is actually a special energy card. You only can have 4 in each deck, not a basic energy card. But it's like that. So now that you drew a card, now you can do any of these things. You can put another basic Pokemon card on your bench, up to 5 total. You can evolve a Pokemon. Now when you evolve a Pokemon, it has to be out there for one turn. So if I wanted to evolve Torchic, I could evolve it now, but I couldn't put Torchic out there right now. No, actually, because this is my first turn, I cannot evolve Torchic. But the next turn, I could evolve Torchic. Same with any of these ones. I have to wait until the next turn. I have to have the card be out there for 1 full turn, and then I can evolve it to the next level. So you can evolve a Pokemon. You can attach 1 energy card to one of your Pokemon. You only can attach 1 energy card from your hand to any of your Pokemon 1 time per turn. You can play a trainer card, as many as you want. And then you only can play 1 each of supporter or stadium card if you have them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this rescue energy. Now this is a special energy because it says if this Pokemon card is attached to it, is knocked out by damage from an attack, put that Pokemon back into your hand. So basically if Torchic gets knocked out, then I can bring that card back to my hand. But I attach that energy, and since, well, let's just say that's a fire energy card, it can use Hypnotic Gaze. So the defending Pokemon is now asleep. So the defending Pokemon would put, make it asleep. The defending Pokemon would be asleep, so then it'd have to flip a coin each turn to see if it'd wake up. So now let's say we've gone through the game, a Pokemon's been knocked out, prize cards have been knocked out, we've gone through the game a little bit. Now how do you determine if you win or not? I can tell you that there's a couple different ways. And also, I do have a lot of videos before this how to play the Pokemon card game, so there's a lot of information there to determine all the other rules, like retreat costs, everything else, energy costs, that type of stuff. So if you want to know that, then definitely check that stuff out. But how to win a game, there's a couple different ways. The first and easiest way is to get all your prize cards. So that means you have to knock out 6 of your opponent's Pokemon, unless you're using like an EX card where you get 2 prize cards, that type of thing. You just have to get all of your prize cards before your opponent. Another way to win is if your opponent runs out of cards. That's another way to win. So if you can use cards that actually you can make your opponent discard a lot of cards, or your opponent could use a strategy where they have to draw a lot of cards out of their deck, which could make them lose quicker if they don't have any cards left in your deck. And the other third way to win would be if you can't play a basic Pokemon. So if you get a Pokemon knocked out and you don't have a basic Pokemon on your bench, then you lose as well. So those are the 3 ways. So if you have any other questions, definitely either watch my previous videos on how to play a Pokemon trading card game, or ask me in the comments below, or message me. I'll definitely tell you how to play and do that type of thing. I also am really looking forward to doing a deck video sometime soon, a battle video. It's just hard to get the camera anyway in the best way. So like I said, if you knock out a defending Pokemon, you say you knock it out, you get to take a prize card from over here, anyone you want, they're face down, so you just take a prize card and put it in your hand. And then a couple other things, when your Pokemon gets knocked out, so say Torchic gets knocked out by the defending Pokemon, you have to take all cards, you have to take the Pokemon and all cards attached to it and put it in the discard pile over here. Now you can have trainer cards as well that allow you to search in the discard pile, so you can utilize that technique. And since I did have this rescue energy card on my Torchic, which I probably wouldn't normally, but I'd have that on there, so then I'd actually bring this card back to my hand. But a lot of it is just reading what the card descriptions say, and it's easy to figure out what exactly to do with that card. But the basic format is, when you start the game, you have 6 prize cards. If you have a 60 card deck, you have 6 prize cards. You can put up to 5 cards on your bench. You have to have 1 active Pokemon, and then you have a deck over here with your remaining cards. Then you have your discard pile over here. Other things, when you have an active Pokemon and it retreats, that removes all special conditions. Also, you have to check the retreat cost if you want to retreat. But a lot of that is, I've made videos for everything, so I don't really want to go into too much detail. This is just basically the format, how to play and how to get started. So make sure you watch all my other videos. I talk about trainer cards, supporter cards, Pokemon tools, technical machines. I talk about how to read a Pokemon card. What else do I talk about? Poke Powers and Poke Bodies. I've talked about the Lost Zone in this video. So everything you need to know about the game, I've talked about in one of my videos about how to play Pokemon trading card game. Like I said, I recommend that you buy a theme deck to get started, and then build from there. And if you do build, I suggest you do 20-20-20 for trainers, supporters, and stadium cards, 20 of those, 20 energy, and 20 Pokemon. Now, if you do a base set, stage 1, stage 2 type of Pokemon, I would recommend you do 4-3-2 for that kind of Pokemon if you're that's a major card in your deck. There's not much else I'd talk about. A lot of it will be if I make a battle video, which I know a lot of people have requested, but it's hard. I'll probably try to do it sometime. I don't know the best way to make the camera work, the camera angle the best, but we can try it out sometime. But if you have any questions, definitely ask me. I'll definitely try and help you out. This is a basic format like that. Like I said, buy a theme deck. It comes with a rule book. It tells you how to get started. It comes with everything you need. So definitely, if you're a first-time player, check into that. And also, you get a bonus booster pack with the newer decks like that you can maybe add those cards in as well. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope this helped you learn how to play the Pokemon trading card game. Definitely check out my other videos, my pack openings, my free cards. Check out my blog. I do reviews every day on that blog. So all the links are in the underbar below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.